It did not take very long for me to be reminded of why this Leaf team pains me so much. I understand, I said before the year, right? Oh, just to enjoy hockey. Well, how can you enjoy hockey when your team just hurts you every night? They can't just lose a hockey game. Game 1 of the season, they lose 4-3 to the Montreal Canadiens in Montreal. But again, they can't just lose a hockey game. They just can't do it. You got to find a way to hurt you and break your heart in some way, shape, or form. Matt Murray early on, phenomenal, right? Making some nice saves, being very sound in that first period. Michael Bunting scores a nice little play. And he centered pass from Mitch Marner. Beautiful job. Brody at 11:41. Leafs on the board early, 1-0. That's how the first period ends. Shots on goal were 8 apiece. Matt Murray makes all 8 stops. Looks really sound in the net. The Leafs got the lead after 1. You're feeling really good about yourself. Go to the second period. And 30 seconds in, they got a 2-on-1 against you. And Caulfield, who, as much as I hate the Habs to the death of me, is an incredible player. And he buries one past Matt Murray. You can't blame him on that. It was a 2-on-1, just shelved it. Beautiful shot from Caulfield at 33 seconds of the second period. Then Dennis Mulligan scores. A nice little play from Tavares, kind of flick it to the front of the net. And Mulligan there to knock it down, corral it, and bury it into the empty cage. Nylander and Tavares grab assists on the goal at 9:06 of the second period. Then Cole Caulfield, again, just on the rush. Really nothing transpiring here. Just a beautiful shot. Just beats Matt Murray straight up. That's one, if you're Matt Murray, you kind of want to beat, because it's kind of like right through him. And that just can't happen. And the game is tied again, 2-2. Shots and goal in the second period were 13-9 in favor of the Buds. Yet they lost the period, 2-1. So as I've said, game after game, year after year, the shots on goal stat are absolutely meaningless. And we go to the third period, whole new hockey game. Hey, you win the third period, you win the hockey game. You get 2 power plays. And, if anybody was a fly on the wall and could listen to what I was saying during this third period, after the Leafs had those 2 power plays and didn't score on either of them, I think they hit a post. They at least hit 2 posts in this game. I counted at least 2. And obviously the Kerfoot penalty shot that could have given you the lead as well. You had opportunities. You just didn't make do with them, right? You had those 2 power plays late. One with just under 6 minutes to play. You had a chance to take the lead with under 6 to go, which might have put them away and buried them. You can't do either. And right as that second penalty expired, I'm like, look, the fans are buzzing. Their team is definitely confident because they just killed 2 power plays off in the third period of a tied hockey game. And what happens not very long after that? Sean Monahan scores his first goal as a Montreal Canadien. 2.5 minutes to go in the period. Seems like it's the hockey game, right? It seems like it is long over. While Leafs get a 2-on-1 of their own. Nice little saucer pass from John Tavares to Willie Nylander, who squeaks it through Jake Allen with $1:40 to go to tie the game at 3. And we're like, man, another crazy one here in Montreal. You know what happens with 19 seconds left? The Leafs can't clear it out of their own zone. I think I counted twice. They had the puck on their stick. They couldn't get it out. Whether it was a fan pass, whether it hit somebody and just fell down in front, or whatever the case may be. But Jake Muzzin didn't put enough muscle or oomph on his shot at all to clear it down the ice. He just kind of floated it right to the middle, and it lands on the tape of Josh Anderson. Or no, it was off. Who was it? It was off somebody. So then Jake Muzzin blocked it, but then it just knocked it 5 feet in front of him, right to the tape of Josh Anderson, and he buries it with 19 seconds left. And obviously, I just turned it off at that point because I'm like, I'm tired of this team, man. I understand it's one game into the year, man. I get it. And I understand you're going to have some ups, you're going to have some downs. And there's no doubt about that. In an 82-game schedule, you're going to have those. Remember how the Leafs started last season? They were like 2-4-1 to start. We thought the sky was falling. They end up, second in the division, having home ice in the first round, right? The way they played early on, you would have never expected that. But the question mark coming into this season was a question mark in the second and third periods of this game. I'm not saying Matt Murray was bad. Don't get me wrong. I thought he was pretty good for the most part. But once that first goal went in, once that the 2-on-1 goal went in off of Cole Caulfield, tell me, when that goal went in on that shot, how many goals on how many shots after that, right? Because he did a really nice job early on, making all 8 stops in the first period and looked really calm in the net, right? With obviously Montreal at home, they're all buzzed and ready to go. And they had a couple power plays in the first. I think it was like 2 or 3 power plays in the first. He found a way to shut the door and did a good job. But again, a lot of things changed after that. The Leafs had some breakdowns defensively. Obviously, the 2-on-1 leading to the tying goal mere 30 seconds into the period. And you know what I noticed? In this game, it was the first minute or two and the final minute or two of a period that the Leafs looked lost. Look at the way that first period ended, right? They had all kinds of zone time, and if you're a Leaf fan, you were just watching the clock like, can you hurry up, please? And second period, they scored in the first minute. And even in the final minute or two of the second period, they had some great chances. Couldn't score, but they had some glorious chances, right? And you look at the final 3 minutes of the third period where they scored 2 goals. I know Mike Babcock was not a great, coach around here. We all had iffy feelings about him, but he always said one thing: start on time and finish the game. Play the full 60. And it's a cliche comment you always hear, but you got to do it. And in the first 5 minutes of a period, and in the first 5 minutes of a period, you got to be there to wake up. And the Leafs weren't. The Habs jumped on them, beat them down, and used their crowd to their advantage. And the Leafs are on a back-to-back. They go home to play Washington tomorrow. Albeit Washington played tonight as well, so they're on a back-to-back again as well. And Ilya Samsonov's going to be in the net against his former team. Well, they know the holes more than anybody. So we'll see how that one goes, right? It's just a really tough one to open the season. If you just lost, 3-2, and Monahan scored the game winner, fine. But it's the fact that you tied the game, and then with 19 seconds left, you scramble to not be able to get the puck out of your own end, and you give up the game winner, and don't even get a point out of it. Like, those hurt. And look, Hab fans, enjoy that, man. Enjoy that W, because that's a great way to start your year. The D-Corps and Jake Allen, I'll tell you this much: I don't think they're going to hold up whatsoever. The D-Corps looked good today. I thought they looked pretty good. Again, it's the first game of the year. And let's be honest, Jake Allen is not a goalie that's going to take you to a cup run. We all know that. So for Leaf fans, what do you think of Matt Murray in his debut? 4 goals on 23 shots. Not a great stat line. However, if you watch the way he played, how do you feel? You think the Leafs kind of let him down there late in the game, and he did a good job early on? That's the way I kind of look at it. But it's one game. And that's the mindset I'm trying to have. Because let's be honest, Leaf fans, no matter you can put clowns on the ice for one of these two teams, the Leafs or the Habs. It's going to be a tight game because it's Leafs and Habs, no matter what. Shots on goal for the game were 32-23. Shots on goal in the third period were 11-6. Yeah, you got outscored 2-1. Got to bury your chances. You had 2 power plays in the third. You couldn't do it, and you couldn't clear the puck out of your own end. Breakout passes, stuff like that are going to kill you in the playoffs. And we've seen it year after year. You don't get the puck out of your own end, you're going to get killed for it. Special teams-wise, was nothing for nobody. Both teams were 0 for 4 in their power plays. Key guys for the Leafs: Nylander had a goal and an assist. John Tavares had a couple assists in the game. It's my first game of the season. I don't know. I could just sit here and rant about how this team just pains me game after game, year after year. Yeah, I could do that. And I already let loose with my feelings. And I'm going to move on. It's what I said I would do going into this year. You talk about the game. Am I going to be... I even said it in yesterday's video. Will there be games where I'll be ecstatic and lose my mind and excited? Absolutely. Will there be games where I want to throw my things across the room? Absolutely. But in the end, you want to just get to the playoffs and just go from there. So, you lost game 1. It sucked. I let loose. You guys might let loose. Go nuts in the comments. And we move on. Game 2 of the season goes tomorrow. At home opener for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They host the Washington Capitals at Scotiabank Arena. 7:30 puck drop there. Look, they had Darcy Kemper in the net today against Boston. He allowed 5. I don't know if they still have Vanacek. If that's the case, he's going to be in the cage there tomorrow. The Leafs should be able to beat him. We'll have to wait and see, though. Samsonov's in the cage for the Leafs. What are you going to get from him, right? All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. You enjoyed the video and not the season opener for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below. Thoughts on the video. Thoughts on the game. Would you like? Would you not like? From today's game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Twitter link is down below. So follow, send me a DM to like great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below. So follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys, of course. Tomorrow, Leafs, or let's go Raptors edition on Friday as they're hosting, I think, their final preseason game against the Celtics on Friday night. As for the Leafs, they're back in action, as we talked about, tomorrow night, the second night of a back-to-back against the Washington Capitals at Scotiabank Arena. 7:30 puck drop there as the Buds look to get even up the season at 1 apiece. Bottom line, just start your season at home on a good note, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and not the ending to this game. We'll talk to you guys then.